Hello and welcome to Stop and Go F1, live in Liverpool in the shining light of the Pizza Express, and the London Eye moved to Liverpool for this special event. I'm out here on a stag do at the minute, so I've had to do the F1 notes on a scrap piece of paper I found. Let's talk about what was actually a very exciting qualifying session. Q1, extremely exciting. Nico Hülkenberg had a huge bit of oversteer onto Sector 3 in the straight, and what basically is the track is incredibly slippy because this is brand new tarmac that's been laid out and no one's really raced here. A lot of the time we have the feeder series that come along and they kind of get the grip on the track as they go round. We haven't had that. It's brand new tarmac, incredibly slippy, and we've seen that for all practice sessions and into Q1. Hamilton was massively impeded by Kevin Magnussen, a lot of drama for the Haas. That is going to be investigated after the race, which could be very bad for Magnussen because he's actually done quite well. We'll get onto that later, and in my opinion, he should really get a penalty for what he did there because he gave Hamilton no room. I think Hamilton may have lost a bit of his front wing as well. Not great. Moving on, what else have we got? Sainz as well, yeah, he nearly squeezed Zhou into the wall at one point, not great. Magnussen then clips the wall, and with 2 minutes to go, both Hamilton and Russell were in the drop zone for Q1. It was a very dramatic thing, but in the end, the ones that went out, Logan Sargent, Oscar Piastri, Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda and Lando Norris. Big shocker there, of course, is Lance Stroll, who has been in a car which is probably the best car he's ever been in, and is still kind of massively underperforming this season. Not great for him. He's got a lot of work to do tomorrow, especially considering the position his teammate is in, which we'll get to in a brief second. On to Q2, and in terms of on-track action, not a massively exciting session. The biggest thing really was that Sergio kissed the wall a little bit on his first flying lap, but the ones who went out is interesting. 15th, Nick De Vries, 14th, Zhou Guanyu, 13th, Lewis Hamilton, then 12th was Nico Hülkenberg, and 11th was Alexander Albon. The Mercedes looked very good in FP1, they were 1 and 2 in FP1, but since then they've just gone downhill, really it doesn't look like they have the pace at all. And Lewis will be starting 13th on the grid, really not great for him. As we continue though, on to Q3, it was, wow. It looked to be yesterday's bog standard qualifying Q3. We had Charles Leclerc on a fast lap at one point, but he locked up into the third last corner off the big straight, ruined his lap time then. Max was going on a fast lap, but went far too wide into turn 4, abandoned the lap. What that meant was that into the last couple minutes of the session, Max hadn't set a lap time, neither had Bottas, and Charles was down in 7th. So a lot of guys massively out of position, leading up to this big, huge event of the final few seconds of qualifying 3. But what happened? Charles Leclerc did a pitch-perfect remake of what he really did in FP2. But on turn 4, he just lost the brakes, massively spun into the wall. Not great, but the yellow flag turned into a red flag, which meant that both Max and Bottas could not set a fast lap time. And it means we have a mad top 10 for the race tomorrow. So, Bottas in 10th, Verstappen in 9th, Ocon is 8th, then it's Leclerc, Russell 6th, Gasly 5th, Kevin Magnussen in 4th, Sainz 3rd, Alonso 2nd, Perez 1st. So yeah, Max Verstappen very low down in 9th. And as we continue there, Magnussen is the most interesting one there, massively gaining from this in 4th. But I would not be surprised if he got a penalty for impeding of Hamilton in Q1. So that's one to look out for there. Who else? Leclerc's got a lot of ground to place up. Russell is in 6th, which that's kind of what you expect from Mercedes this year. But on this track, they don't really have the pace, so he could be moving down. Perez on pole. If Perez wins this race tomorrow, he will take the lead of the championship. Alonso is starting alongside him on P2. But what's interesting about this track is that I think the benefit really would go more towards Carlos Sainz in 3rd, because that 3rd grid box is on the racing line, and anything off the racing line is massively slippy. So I would not be surprised if we saw Carlos go up the outside of Alonso into turn 1 tomorrow. This has been an incredible qualifying session, which is building to an incredible race that we will see tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe and stay on the channel and all that kind of stuff, because we'll be there to discuss all the things from this race tomorrow, which is looking to deliver an absolute banger, and hopefully will. I will leave you now with the London Eye.